Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Now with today's main headlines. Representative of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi honors families of orphans in Damascus. 2023 annual Baqi protest. Bangladeshi Rohingya children in desperate need of education. Terrorists kill 33 soldiers, wound 12 in East Burkina Faso. Assalamu alaikum dear viewers, I am Hussein Jawad and you are watching Shia Waves live from Imam Hussein TV 3 in London. The Cultural and Charitable Institute of Al Rasul, peace be upon them, in the city of Damascus, Syria, held a ceremony to honor the families of orphans and martyrs in the city. Hujjat al-Islam wal Muslimin Sheikh Jalal Ma'ash, the representative of the Supreme Marja' Grand Ayatollah Shirazi, may Allah prolong his life, was invited to participate in this event. During the ceremony, the representative of the Marja'iyya met and talked with some of the families present. At the end of this program, money gifts were distributed among more than 700 families by Hujjat al-Islam al-Raja, the director of the institute, and Hujjat al-Islam wal Muslimin Ma'ash, the representative of the Marja'iyya. It should be mentioned that about 1 million children became orphans following the insurgency of Islamic State extremists in Syria. The annual Baqi protest is an event that takes place in Washington, D.C. to commemorate the destruction of the Baqi cemetery in Medina, Saudi Arabia. This year's protest will take place on April 28, 2023, in front of the Embassy of Saudi Arabia in Washington, D.C. The event will start at 1 p.m. The purpose of the protest is to raise awareness about the destruction of the Baqi cemetery and to demand its restoration. The protest is open to people of all faiths and backgrounds who support the cause. During the event, there will be speeches by activists, religious leaders, and community members. Rohingya children residing in Cox's Bazar refugee camp in Bangladesh are suffering terrible education conditions, with the vast majority of more than 77% currently not having access to any form of training, the Arab News reported on Thursday in an article published on its official website. The lack of resources and infrastructure in the already cramped settlement, as well as cultural and language barriers, are major reasons why their children are not properly educated, the author adds. According to Dr. Azim Ibrahim, the international community will need to support educational initiatives for Rohingya children in these refugee camps. He further notes that these initiatives should be designed and carried out in close consultation with the Rohingya community itself to ensure that they are culturally appropriate, relevant to the needs of the community, and responsive to the challenges facing the Rohingya people. The article concludes with some reasons for promoting educational programs, describing education as a fundamental human right, an essential tool for economic development and combating poverty, a means to provide social inclusion, and a tool to ensure long-term peace in the region. It should be mentioned that over 700,000 Rohingya people, half of which are children, have escaped unimaginable horrors in Myanmar, including mass killings, rape, and widespread human rights abuses, to find safety in Bangladesh. Let us remind our respected viewers of today's headlines. Representative of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi honors families of orphans in Damascus. 2023 annual Baqi protest in Washington, D.C. Bangladeshi Rohingya children in desperate need of education. Burkina Faso army confirmed that 33 soldiers were killed on Thursday during an attack staged by suspected jihadists. A group of troops were hit by a complex, large-scale strike in the east region, which left another 12 wounded. The statement notes it adds army soldiers engaged the terrorists and gunned down at least 40 before reinforcements arrived. It should be mentioned that the Burkina Faso has been troubled by a bloody jihadist insurgency since 2015, with fighting between the security forces and militias linked to Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State, leaving thousands dead and millions displaced. And now we continue with some short news. Today, Abu Talib Seminary in Lucknow, India, a centre affiliated with Grand Ayatollah Shirazi, saw a special gathering of the faithful and Shia scholars who performed the Friday congressional prayer in commemoration of the 100th anniversary of the hate-driven demolition of Al-Baqi cemetery. Speakers presented their views and theological reasoning in condemnation of this horrible incident and made appeals to Islamic communities to make concerted efforts towards reconstruction of this holy place. Saudi government should be persuaded to take action on this matter, commented most scholars. Hujjat al-Islam Sayyid Abbas Naqvi, Hujjat al-Islam wal Muslimin Mustafa Ali Khan Adib al-Hindi, Hujjat al-Islam Ihtisham Haidar and Hujjat al-Islam Sayyid Ijaz Abbas were among those present. The 8th of Shawwal has been marked as the International Day of Baqi, following statement by Grand Ayatollah Shirazi, may Allah prolong his life, who has urged all faithful to spread awareness on the issue using social media platforms. A human rights organization has condemned Turkey on Thursday for its treatment towards Syrian refugees. As its southern border, Human Rights Watch accused Turkish forces of shooting and torturing Syrian migrants and asylum seekers. The organization's director for Europe, Hugh Williamson, said in a statement that such abuses are common. Turkish and armed forces in charge of border control routinely abuse and discriminately shoot at Syrians along the Syrian-Turkish border, with hundreds of deaths and injuries recorded in recent years. From the data collected, it is stated that 11 deaths and 20 injuries attributable to Turkish border guards in 2023. A recent report by Dar al-Halal Nigeria indicates that despite deteriorating economic situation in Nigeria due to growing inflation and decrease in oil revenue, investments in the halal sector could contribute 1.6 billion annually to the economy of this country in 4 years. The authors categorized the halal sector into 6 subsectors of food, fashion, pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, travel and tourism, and media and recreation. The report refers to Nollywood as the world's second largest film industry, suggesting it could open opportunities for Islamic-themed movies. Dar al-Halal Nigeria mentions that the country exports of halal products to Organization of Islamic Cooperation countries can increase $240 million to $788 million a year, boosting Nigeria's GDP by $548 million. The report urges closer cooperation between industry players and the government to develop halal economy strategies as a means to attract regional and international investments, which could position Nigeria as a leader in Africa's halal economy. We have reached the end of today's Shia Waves show. Let's remind our dear viewers of today's headlines. Representative of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi honors families of orphans in Damascus. 2023 annual Baqi protest in Washington, D.C. Bangladeshi Rohingya children in desperate need of education. Terrorists kill 33 soldiers, wound 12 in East Burkina Faso. You can view the latest news on Shia Waves website, and you can send news of your city or country to be published on our news agency. Contact us on the numbers at the bottom of the screen. This is the end of today's show. Thank you very much for watching. We pray to Allah Almighty to hasten the reappearance of the Master of our time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I am the partner of the sun, for he bows his head each night, so I may breathe. I am the resplendent sterling silver orb, accompanying the earth in unwavering loyalty. I come out at night to guide your